the question of national content during development is not a matter that is discussed or was discussed. Okay. Because you've been here. I'm not shy to say this. We've done Karuma.
Yes.
We've done Bujagari.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kindly remind me of a
National content
discussion.
Considerations on those. Welcome to today's session of Everything Energy and Extractives. My name is Humphrey Asimwe. I'm the Chief Executive of Uganda Chamber of Energy and Minerals. And today I have the distinguished honor and privilege to host the one and only. If you've never heard from this gentleman, if you've never had him speak or never been in an engagement where he is moving things, you are in the right place. So today, allow me invite Mr. Ali Sekatawa. Mr. Sekatawa, you're very welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do. I know it may sound like an interview, but it's not an interview. Just having a conversation. But we just want to connect with the man, the myth, the legend.
Well, those are very big words. But Ali is my name. I'm a lawyer. I have worked for government for 20 years now, and first from URA, and then later in the Petroleum Authority of Uganda.
Okay.
I'm one of the pioneer directors of the PAU, and I have studied and specialized widely in tax, oil and gas, law and policy. I think briefly that's what I am.
Very good. Wow. One of the pioneer directors of PAU. Something very interesting that, we've been putting out to the general public. The fact that Uganda is one of the few countries in the world that will be gaining more on the barrel than, many, many other nations. That means you're one of the architects of that kind of deal. Tell us a little bit more about that arrangement. How is it that as a country, a little enclave in the middle of the world, somewhere in East Africa like Uganda, is actually poised to benefit more from the barrel, than anywhere else in the world?
It's true. Our regime has been audited independently by different international bodies, and they have found that actually in terms of value,
yes, we
are gaining either from production or even the surrounding value coming out of the project. We are doing very well. And there's no magic wand to this. The thing is that the agreements that were negotiated, the initial agreements that GOU negotiated with the investors were fair agreements. They looked at so many fundamental aspects in terms of production sharing and risk allocation. Because when you're doing negotiations of this nature, it is fundamentally about risk allocation. What risks does the investor take? What risks do you take?
Okay.
And that risk allocation matrix from our agreements is fairly meets the international standards.
Wow.
The second is that we are fairly late players, and therefore it means we have opportunity to look around, see what other people have done well, see where they have failed, access some of these agreements. Like me, I subscribe to some of the petroleum negotiating groups worldwide.
Yes.
and you look at them and see, is this good, is this bad, and so on. And that again gives us a certain level of leverage.
Yes.
Compared to our brothers. You can imagine, even Saudi Arabia, if you read the book like Economic Hitman, Confessions of the Economic Hitman, you will find that these guys went to Saudi Arabia in 1950, and the level at which they found them, they were in such a raw state.
Yes.
It is not the same level you will find a Ugandan today, because I've looked at what happened to Saudi Arabia in the last 50 years, what has happened to Nigeria, what has happened to the good practice countries in North Africa, which are exploring. And then, of course, we relate with our brothers in Norway, in Canada. And as such, cumulatively, you find that you have a fair deal.
Yes.
And when I say fair deal, I mean the investors, like in Uganda, have invested for the last 20 years.
Yes.
They are not earning. So when you're looking at this discussion, you have to look at a fair rate of return for a person who takes a 20-year risk in a country in the middle of nowhere.
Very true.
It cannot be accessed. If you look Buhuka, there are no roads, there's no power. The time they were doing work is the time of Joseph Kony.
Yes.
The time of ADF. It's the time of Kisangani 1 in Congo. It is the time of all these revolutions in the Great Lakes region.
Yes.
A person who is investing money there, you should be able to say thank you. You should also be able, when the time comes, to take a fair return.
Yes.
And the same for us to say the level at which we are, that God blessed us with this natural resource.
Yes.
Can we get a fair return? It is that balance, really. And I think I would like to say that if you look at that, you look at then the other aspects that surround the industry.
Yeah.
For example, when you go to many countries, the question of national content during development is not a matter that is discussed or was discussed. Okay?
Okay.
Because you've been here. I'm not shy to say this. We've done Karuma.
Yes.
We've done Bujagali.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Kindly remind me of a
National content
discussion.
Considerations on those.
Okay.
No.
So the answer, and oil and gas is not different. It's a project, just like how you come and construct
A dam or,
how you construct Namboli. Okay? So this discussion, the fact that we have brought it early enough.
Yes. Yes.
Because in many countries, they start assessing oil returns after production. So we've strategically brought this discussion early. And we have moved together. Whatever we've achieved, we've achieved. What we failed together.
Yeah.
You will not accuse anyone of not calling you. We have called everyone and said, come. And these are lessons that you see in many other countries. And that is how we've been able to do it.
Okay.
The other is really, many people say we've delayed, but there has been a very big opportunity for all of us to prepare, to go to school, to look around, and you can see whether in government or not. Again, that has cumulatively brought us where we are.
So the delays that Uganda is accused of, that we've taken time, because from my geology, I recall that, look, the first indications of oil were way back in the 30s and 40s. The British noticed these seepages, and they did some few studies and were able to say, no, there is something here. Okay. But now, even up to this point, but the way you're putting it is that it's an opportunity to get Ugandan companies, to get individuals prepared so that even during the development stage, Ugandan companies are already benefiting. And also, I believe also the negotiation that you're able to do to make sure that we have
benefited,
very good deals.
Yes.
So this delay is actually, if you could take us more into that.
Yes. The first is you will have a delay because of change of strategy. For example, in 2008, after commercial discovery, 2009, the major discussions then were what you call the early production scheme.
Okay.
That early production scheme was more of a strategy of saying we can quickly get this oil out. And Talo was leading the whole of that discussion.
Okay.
The Ugandan side said, no, let's take the long route. And what is the long route? Let's do a proper central processing facility. Let's do proper flow lines.
Yes.
Let's do the support infrastructure that can live
Forever. And for also other sectors.
Yes. Our brothers in Kenya took up
Yes.
the early production.
The early
scheme.
production, yeah.
Okay. You can now come to the Ugandan industry and go to the Kenyan industry, because at one point they even announced that they have sold.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And compare, and you see yourself for what you call sustainability. The second is you can look at ourselves. Myself, I left university in 2001. Okay. You imagine, and the commercial discoveries was 2006.
206.
So you imagine the level of knowledge I have gained also for the last 20 years. The early 2010, 2008 years, when there were transfers of interests between Talo, Heritage,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
and then that Total and so on was coming in, and when we had all these disputes about arbitration, and we went to arbitration, we went all over Africa. Personally, I went to like 4 or 5 countries.
Yes.
And all of them were saying we have never collected capital gains tax before production.
Uganda collected before.
Yeah, because that time we were disputing. And the reason we are moving around was because, all these Talo and so on were saying you are asking for something that has never happened. Okay, when the industry is at a level of exploration and people farm out and farm in, okay, you never collect taxes because it is part of we said no. We went around, checked, we went to Ghana, we went where they said they had. Even here in Tanzania, they had sold many licensing regime for, not for gas, for minerals. They said this is not something that, and we said no.
We'll do it.
Yes, we said we will do it, and we did it, and we got our money. Okay? But the experience we got, either here in Uganda or going to the High Court of UK, Court of Appeal UK, international arbitration, we had like 2 arbitrations there, and all of them came out successful. That experience for the last 20 years is invaluable. And it has helped us to look backward to say, okay, is there something we could have done better? And for me, I think the satisfaction is that, there has been a delay, but I can confidently say that it has been worth it.
Yes.
Because when our children come up, they will say, okay, let me give you an example. In 2008, when we were discussing the 206, the early production scheme.
Yes.
The laws that were there were the laws that were done in 1985.
Wow. Okay.
Those laws considered petroleum like they stopped only on exploration. They had never considered the whole value chain of production before.
Okay.
The environmental laws were old. There were all these major concepts you're hearing about national content, about decommissioning, about oil spill management. They were not in the laws. So if anyone told you, let me produce in 2008, then I will do the laws to follow, what would have happened?
Should have been a
So for me, I think it is a blessing in disguise and therefore I think it will be for the common good.
Wow. As we conclude, and this is really, really insightful. So these delays are a blessing. They have provided opportunities. We've been able to get companies. The statistics as we speak right now, about 30, close to 30% local content gain of the projects, of the contracts that have been signed. The Ugandans that have been trained and are in the field, close to 15,000.
Aren't you very proud of that? If
Definitely.
You go to the field and you see 10,000
Ugandans
brothers and sisters.
Yes. You actually talk to some of them and they are speaking the local language of the community. So it's not just national, but the community is, benefiting and gaining. I think those are some amazing things. But as we close this, I have 2 questions for you that I'll just share and you'll probably see how to put them across. So you've worked with government 20 years or so, over 20 years. You've been in this sector from the very beginning. Why oil and gas? And then in addition to that, what are you most proud of? That you tell your children, that one, we did well.
Why oil and gas? As I told you, when I left university, I went to URA.
Okay.
And after a few years, I headed the litigation. I was in charge of averagely 400, 500 cases against URA for close to 10 years.
Wow.
And part of those cases included the oil cases. Mm-hmm. But also it was a time when we were doing the oil laws. So for the oil laws, I was more specifically assigned on the what we call Part X, the taxation of oil and gas.
Okay.
And it is at that time that I took special interest in oil, because my specialty ordinarily was tax.
Okay.
And then I picked it up. I decided to, because we had not studied it at university.
Yeah.
I said, okay, let me go and pursue it at a master's level. I went to Dundee.
Okay.
And did masters, and I've done several other whatever. And since then, it's been a journey. I think for me, the key driver for me is personally, I'm known as I'm a public asset. Why am I saying I'm a public asset? Born in a public hospital, studied in UPE, went to USE.
Okay.
Went to university on a government scholarship, worked in a government hospital, a government tax authority.
Yes.
And one thing I realized when I was in URA is by that time we were collecting close to 8 billion US. And that 8 billion was catering for all of us. When I say all of us, Mulago, cancer, malaria, UPDF, teachers, and so on.
Yeah.
And then when we sat and I saw that this industry can actually contribute, because 4 billion, 8 billion then was close to maybe 3 billion. And I saw that there is one sector, one industry that can contribute close to that money.
Yes.
Okay. I said, okay, I think this is something that I need to invest my time.
Yes.
Because it's a game changer for some of my brothers that I left wherever I left them, and I see we have maybe 10 million kids that are in UPE, USE, and so on. And if God has blessed me with an opportunity first to be able to understand this industry,
okay,
I thought that I could really give more value to society.
That's good.
I think for me the most proudest thing for me were when we did the assessment for tax capital gains tax.
Yeah.
They were close to 700 million. We had sleepless nights.
$700 million.
US dollars, yes. We had sleepless nights for maybe over 2-3 weeks.
Wow.
Because we had never raised such an assessment in our life. The first one was around 430. The second was around 420 something. Actually, it was 800 and something. We had never done it. There were so many forces that were saying it's impossible, it's wrong. We took a leap of faith. It took us close to 5 years with a lot of, all challenges. It took us through the Tax Appeals Tribunal, the High Court in Uganda, the Court of Appeal, High Court of London, Court of Appeal London.
Wow. 2
arbitrations. Even now I'm told that there is even some other applications. And 5 years.
Wow.
I think my proudest moment was when we got an award, and that award confirmed that we were right all along.
All along.
And 2, we got the money, and it is in a Bank of Uganda account. I think for me, that is for the industry, for the Ugandans.
For the Uganda.
Because when you receive that money, then the second case, they realize, because there were 2, they realized that we might not sustain it. They say, okay, let us also pay. And I think for me, that is still my proudest moment. Probably you can equate it now.
Wow.
That after then, we start now working on creation of PAU, on FID, and then, of course, the FID moment, I think, was a very good moment in my view, considering that if you looked at what we call the 17 conditions, that these people had put maybe 10, 12 years to achieve FID. The fact that we got it on 1st January, I think, was a very proud one.
Wow.
Hopefully, First Oil Commission will be
the
another
next
highlight.
Wow. Amazing. I know we've got to bring this to a close, but thank you so much, Mr. Sekatawa. Learned a lot. I think it's not just your proud moment as an individual, it's a proud moment for all of us as Ugandans to see our country take on an oil giant and say, you will pay the tax. And the court says, yeah, pay the tax, pay them. And we are really, really glad that we have patriotic Ugandans like yourself in these positions who are saying, for the sake of this country, we'll take the 3 weeks with sleepless nights. Everyone is telling us what you're attempting is impossible, but you still went on. So please, soldier on. We are behind you. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, blessings.
Uganda Chamber of Energy and Minerals for a sustainable future.